Everest 3 High Passes versus Everest Base Camp Gokyo Lake Trek. Hello, this is Arun from Nepal. Everest Base Camp trekking is one of the famous trekking in the entire Nepal, but even inside the Everest Base Camp trail, there are around dozens of trekking routes which you can take for your trekking holiday in Nepal, including Everest 3 Passes and Gokyo Lake Trek. Everest Base Camp trek is generally 12 days trek. Adding either one of the passes in the trekking makes Everest trekking 2 to 4 days longer than normal. Everest 3 High Passes trek and introduction. This trek by name itself is an Everest trek with 3 famous passes of the region. People doing Everest 3 High Passes trek does both Everest Base Camp and Gokyo Lakes. In this 3 passes trek, people make a big circuit in the trail of Everest Base Camp trekking connecting at Namche Bazar. Everest has many high passes, but these 3 passes of Everest Base Camp are famous because none of these 3 passes needed any technical climbing skills. A normal trekking gear and Everest trekker can easily do these 3 high passes trekking in Everest. Everest 3 passes is difficult trekking than Everest Base Camp trek alone, but for sure difficulty of 3 passes worth the beauty of the region. Everest Base Camp Gokyo Lake Trek, an introduction. EBC Gokyo Lake Trek is also famous as Everest Chola Pass trekking. After doing Everest Base Camp, there are 2 ways to get to Gokyo Lake. One trail is up and over Chola Pass, whereas another is trekking all the way down to Fortche village and trek to Gokyo. EBC Gokyo Lake has only one pass. Chola Pass connects EBC with Gokyo Lakes. Gokyo Lake is another famous destination in the Everest region. In the view, popularity, and stunning landscape, what comes next to Everest Base Camp and Kalapathar? It's none other than Gokyo and Gokyo Lakes. Gokyo side of Everest region has lakes in cascade pattern, beautiful glacier, and famous viewpoint from Mount Everest and her neighboring mountains. The famous viewpoint is Gokyo. Gokyo has better view than Kalapathar. However, the view of Kalapathar is close to Mount Everest than of Gokyo. Comparing the routes of Everest 3 High Passes and EBC Gokyo Lake Trek. The starting point for both these 2 trekking is none other than flying from Kathmandu to Lukla. However, one can take jeep to Thamdara and start trekking from there. The driving option to get to Lukla adds 3 days on top of entire trekking itinerary for fly in and fly out option. But the road from Phaplo to Thamdara is rough and hence do not expect an easy riding for one day, around 8 hours. For the trekking route till Namche is same for both of these trekking. After trekking from Namche towards Everest Base Camp, there are a couple of routes you can take for Gokyo of Everest Base Camp, Gokyo Trek, and for 3 passes trek. In general, 3 pass trek starts from Everest Base Camp side and same for Gokyo EBC trek. But if you want to make this adventure more fun, you can start Everest 3 High Passes trek from Thame village by doing the Renjola Pass is the first pass of Everest 3 High Passes trekking trip. But this is not recommended. For EBC Gokyo Lake Trek, you can visit to the Gokyo Lake first and do Chola Pass from anti-clockwise direction so as to trek to Everest Base Camp before getting down to Namche Bazar. This is also not recommended. What is the right route for trekking then? And why? The best route for Everest Base Camp 3 High Passes trek is to start from the highest pass, Kongmala Pass, and finish at the easy and the lowest pass, Renjola Pass. Similarly, for Gokyo EBC trek, start trekking from Everest Base Camp and cross Chola Pass to get to Gokyo side. In both of these suggestions, factors like physical fitness, acclimatization, tea house accommodation, length of the trekking trail, all are taken into consideration. Also, the view and scenery of trail is appealing to keep up the trekking if followed as mentioned above route. As a trekking guide, I have led many trekking in such a route preference and I have never regretted. Instead, I have felt safe in my cases. Imagine if you desperately want to get to Everest Base Camp during Everest Base Camp Gokyo Lake trekking and you choose to trek first from Gokyo side and get sick while passing Chola Pass at 5,420 meters above sea level, this will be a sad moment for yourself and the guide of your team, isn't it? Also, for 3 passes as well, if you trek over the highest pass for the first time and then aim for the lower ones later, it is recommended you finish the higher first, and that's how your stamina will remain still for the lower and beautiful ones later. Thank you.